Kiribati, like Maldives, what will happen to those countries when they go underwater? There are no regimes today internationally which will establish the legal rights on that property of the land lost, how to get it when they regain it to the same generations. It can be a private property, it can be a national property. Like in Kerala, for example, there are land going underwater. Like in tsunami, which happened in Andaman Nicobar, what happened to that land which has gone underwater? How will the generations later people reclaim the rights for, in case the land comes back? Similarly, now we have this problem with Bangladesh, where their Purbhasha Island, or what we call the New Moor Island, has come up from the sea, and that has caused a problem. Today, we are not able to draw the boundary lines with Bangladesh. Many discussions were held, but still there are issues which is pending, and these are the only two issues India has, but many other countries have got much more issues than what we have. Myanmar is a country with whom we have maritime neighborhood as well as land borders. We had few issues with them in the olden days with respect to the Coco Island, which has been handed over to them by India those days. But at the moment, the problem seems to be very serious, and we have somewhat okay relationship with Myanmar, which we have to have for various other reasons. Coming to Thailand, we had a boundary issue very well resolved with them. We have issues with Malaysia once upon a time, but today there are trends of diplomatic ties being improved with Malaysia, and more Malaysia. Recently, the Malaysian Prime Minister was in India, and a lot of discussions were held. Indonesia's problem with the Aceh insurgents have affected our Nicobar Island, or we had the fear that something is likely to happen there with demographic shift, but that also has been resolved by the Aceh associations having some agreement with the government of Indonesia. The Malacca Strait and Singapore Straits have been a serious problem for India because of the piracy, which was initiated by terrorist group like Abu Sayyaf group, etc. in Philippines, and that has become a very big way of fund collection for insurgency and terrorism. But today, that has been controlled, that has been contained, and the attention has been shifted to Somalia, which has been going on since they gained independence in the 90s. We have a troubled neighborhood, but we are friendly and we are a very powerful country which has got a lot of goodwill around, and we have been able to tackle these issues. When we come to our closest neighbor across the sea, we have sea between Sri Lanka and India, but this particular part of the sea is not an international water. It is a sea which belongs to the two countries as historical waters. The Pak Bay as well as the Gulf of Mannar are special waters which India and Sri Lanka can share 50-50, more or less, the way they have agreed to. Yes, we have given Kachatti to them, which is causing certain problems today in political scenario. Otherwise, I think India has done a wise decision, provided we can use that agreement for improving diplomatic ties and international relations with Sri Lanka. Maldives is a very interesting case. Maldives comprises 1,191 islands, but you must know that India has more islands than Maldives. India has 1,197 islands in the ocean. Maldives have got 1,191, but there are many sleeping cells operating in Maldives, trained by the ISI, but fortunately, they are not as dangerous as it seems to be because India has been able to take care of the Maldivian issue. Gentlemen, these are the 7 countries whom we have as our neighbors, and fortunately, the problems are not that serious, and they are the problems which the government of India as well as this country can tackle. We may have one more neighbor, that is Sultanate of Oman, when India ratifies and establishes its legal continental shelf, which may take a couple of years more. Looking at these issues and the problems is a vast subject. I may not be able to tell you everything today at this moment, but I will certainly invite certain questions at the end of my session. And thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.